A very good afternoon to my panelists Muhammad Faisal bin Abba and Nur Shafizan bin T. Suftir, and my beloved lecturer Dr. Adiza. My name is Nantan and I'm currently doing my degree in international business with finance. For today, I'll be doing my research methodology presentation. Okay, the background of the research. Drivers of stress among foreign students in Malaysia. The moderating factor of social wellness was my title. The stress, as we know, the stress is a state of an individual that results from the interaction of the individual with the environment, which is perceived as threatening or treat the well-being. It is an external consideration which directly upsets the individual, both mentally and physically. Individual in a stressful situation influenced by his or her mental ability to carry out ongoing task. Stress among international students is a serious problem caused by a variety of circumstances. The purpose of the research is to explore the drivers of stress among foreign students in Malaysia, such as culture adoption, financial issues, language barriers, academic pressure, and social wellness. Next, we move to research problem. The students face many physical as well as psychological problems during the study hours due to learning stress and so on. Undoubtedly, stress has become the #1 reported implemented to academic performance, as follow the students now reported being stressed out of it and ever. My research questions was, how does financial issues affect the stress of foreign students in Malaysia universities? Second, what are the effects of language barrier towards stress? Third, how does culture affect the stress of foreign students? Last one was, what are the effects of academic pressure towards stress? My research objective was, the goal of this thesis is to identify the factors causing stress among international students in Asian universities. Second, to identify the effect of language barrier towards stress. Thirdly, to identify the culture effect towards the stress of foreign students. Fourth, to determine the effect of academic pressure towards stress. And the last one was to provide solution and suggestion to improve and encourage the international students to handle stress in Malaysian universities. So my conceptual framework was, my DV is stress, and my IB was 4, which is international financial issues. Second was culture adoption. Third was academic pressure. And the last IB was language barrier. And the moderator for my framework was social wellness. The hypothesis from my framework was, first is, there is a significant positive relationship between financial barrier and stress. Second, there is a significant positive relationship between culture adoption and stress. Third is, there is a significant positive relationship between academic pressure and stress. And the last one is, there is a significant positive relationship between language barrier and stress. Research method. For the population sampling, component was 11 component, and the selections for research approach, my research was quantitative approach. For research design, hypothesis, correlation studies, and study field. For method, I'm using a survey method, and type of data was a primary data. For population, international students who studying in Malaysian universities. My sample size was 234 respondents, and followed by sampling technique was coefficient sampling. Instrument, I was using a questionnaire. Data collection, I was using Google form to collect the 234 respondents of international students in Malaysia. And time horizontal was cross-sectional research. The data analysis, I was using a SPSS version 26 software. The summary of a measurement was 5, which is for variable, number of items, type of scale, source, and sample size. For the first IB, financial issues, The number of items was 5 questions. My scale was 1 to 4. 1 is normally strongly disagree, followed by 2 is disagree, third is agree, and the fourth was strongly agree. The source was Jaswin Kaur Nansha Singh 2014 journal. The sample item is too much debt being accumulated. For the second IB was culture adoption. Same goes for 5 questions and followed by same scale, 1 to 4. The first one is strongly disagree, followed until the fourth one is a strongly agree. The source found these questions from Shankar Challa Muhammad Kamahan, 2016 journal. Sample item was adjusting to a new environment takes time and effort. Third one is academic pressure, followed by same 5 questions and 1 to 4 scale. Source was Melissa Mijin Muhammad Falahin, 2015. Too many subjects to study and less time was a sample item. And the fourth ID was language barrier. Same goes for 5 questions, and the scale is 1 to 4. First one is strongly disagree, second was agree, until the fourth one is strongly agree. The source for the language barrier is Zairuddin Dahari, 2016 journal. And the sample item was feel nervous if people will judge while speaking the language. And the last one goes for social wellness as memorator. Same goes for 5 questions, and type of scale was 1 to 4. And J-In Source Private Committee 2020 July is the source of a journal. The sample item was I usually share my stories to my friends. Next, we go for data analysis. I was using a SPSS 2000 version 2006 version 26 software. So for my respondents profile, you can see that for gender, I was having a 243 respondents, whereby the majority of the respondents are male, which is 73.8%, followed by 26.2 are female. Then we go for age. Excuse me, for age, we can see that majority, 57.8 are people, foreign students, which are aged around 24 to 26, which present their bachelor's, foundation, and degree or master. Secondly, was 21 to 23 age of foreign students, which was 31.6%. And the thirdly was 26 and above foreign students, which score was 8.6%. And the last one, the minor, was 18 to 20 age people. Next, followed by nationality. As we can see here, the pie chart shows that 63.5% are people from Southeast Asia countries, which means Southeast are mainly from 11 countries, as we know: Brunei, Indonesia, Myanmar, Vietnam, Philippines, Thailand, Cambodia. And the second largest people, foreign students, came from this country, from Middle East countries, as we know: Arabian, Saudi, Iraq. And the last one is Europe. This was a minor foreign students. Then we focus on Tango Force education level. Education level, as you can see, the majority of people doing their bachelor diploma in our Malaysian universities. Next, followed by degree, bachelor. And the last one was foundation or A level. And the fifth demographic was student status, whereby students are doing part-time or full-time their course. My respondents profile was 82.8% people or foreign students are doing full-time studies, and 17.2% are foreign students are who doing part-time job, part-time studies. Geographic area was rural and urban. It shows that 89.8 are from urban, and rural was minor, which is 10.2%. And next, move to my descriptive analysis. Descriptive analysis variance, mean, standard deviation, and number of respondents. For variables, my first was stress. The mean was 3.1169, followed by standard deviation is 59488, and number of items was 243 respondents. And second, followed by financial issues is 3.1070. Standard deviation was 57301, and respondents was 243. The language barrier was 303.0971. Mean and standard deviation was 59261. Number of items was 243. Followed by culture adoption 3.1163. Standard deviation was 63213 and 243. Academic pressure was 3.1761. Standard deviation was 67830. And number of respondents was 243. Last one was moderator, social wellness, which recorded mean of 3.1333. Standard deviation was 59196, and number of respondents was 243. It shows that my academic pressure IB score mean is more higher compared to my other IBs and DBs and including moderator. And the standard deviation, the highest was, same goes for academic pressure. Short scored 67830. Then we move on to reliability analysis. Reliability analysis, where we can find out when our reliability Cronbach alpha should be more than 0.700 to get a significant to our DB, IB and DB. For stress, it was scored like 776, followed by financial issues was 0.734. Language barrier was 0.726. Culture adoption was 0.811. Academic pressure is 887, followed by social wellness was 765, which shows that all my IBs and moderator are significantly to my stress. For the correlation analysis, we can see that social financial issues score was 211, language barrier was 229, culture adoption was 206, academic pressure was 892, social wellness is 309, whereby correlation is stated whether it's a significant, it's strongly, moderate, or weakly. It shows that my academic pressure scored strongly significant, followed by social wellness was moderately significant, and my financial issues was weakly significant, and language barrier was weakly significant, and culture adoption was weakly significant to my DB stress. So regression analysis, you can see the graph shows that the significance of IB to moderator and moderator to DB, which shows that all my IBs and moderator are significant because it shows it's scored 0.001 and 0.000, which is significant to my DB. And my academic pressure was strongly significant, and followed by social wellness was moderately significant, and language barrier was weakly significant. Next, move to hypothesis. First hypothesis, there's a significant positive relationship between financial issues and stress. There is a significant positive relationship between culture adoption and stress. Third was, there's a strongly significant positive relationship between academic pressure and stress. Fourth one was, there's a moderately significant positive relationship between language barrier and stress. And the last one, social wellness moderated the relationship between culture adoption, financial issues, language barriers, academic pressure towards stress. Hypothesis testing regression summary table shows that the variables, my IBs and moderator, and standard coefficient, p-value, and decision, or my final result of my research shows that standard coefficient of financial issues was 0.22211, which is weak, but is significant. Why? Because its p-value was 0.001. My decision was accepted. For financial issues was 0.299. My p-value was positive 0.000, which result me an accepted result. Culture adoption was 0.206, which is weak, but is still significant because the p-value was 0.001, accepted. Academic pressure was 0.892, which is strongly, and p-value was 0.00, significant, accepted. Social wellness was 0.309, moderately, and the p-value was 0.000, which is positive, accepted. Then we move to discussion. Discussion of the findings, the effect of financial issues towards foreign students in Malaysia. As we can see, foreign students from Southeast and Middle East countries are purchasing their upper level education in Malaysia. People are going through a financial issues because of the currency of theirs and ours are slightly different. Some feel it's benefit, but some feel it's a disadvantage because of the currency's values is less stable, which make them to purchase more of their currency to get a certain amount of our currency. For example, people from Indonesia. Second was the effect of culture adoption towards foreign students in Malaysia was foreign students will take a longer time to adopt our culture because in their nationalities, the culture was different compared to our, because here are cultures from 3 different races, and it will take a few or longer period of time for them to adopt our culture. The third was the effect of academic performance to academic pressure towards the foreign students in Malaysia, because the academic in Malaysia is different from their countries, which will lead stress to the foreign students who purchasing their education in Malaysian universities. And the last one is the effect of language barrier towards foreign students in Malaysia. As we know, people from different countries are having a different language, or mother tongue is a different. When they came here, even the English was, as we know, the English is having 2 different, which is English from UK, United Kingdom, and English from USA, United States of America. The slang, and there's a difference. It will take some time for them to understand and speak fluent English in Malaysia. As a conclusion, I can say that this research is ordered to understand the drivers of stress among international students who study in Malaysian universities. Unlike local students, foreign students have beyond difference between each and other when it comes to their origin, traditional equities, as well as provision by making them culture represent of their respective home countries. And third, I would like to say that research on these topics not only be useful for understanding them, but can also be implemented on initiative towards foreign students, which able to enjoy the international education hub of this nation. And finally, I would say that this will be useful for Ministry of Higher Education to its understanding issues faced by international students in Malaysia, hence institute and can provide a better need for foreign students, which lead to more amount of foreign students purchasing their degrees, their upper level education in our Malaysia. Thank you.